welcome to New Generation Radio. Today is November 15th. We're broadcasting from 102.7 Cooperative Radio in Vancouver, as well as through the New Generation Radio Facebook page. This week we're discussing a couple of things. We have a guest, Miss Avideh Motmaen Far, who is an artist and has been very active in human rights issues relating to rights in Iran. And she's currently participating as actress in a play which is in Farsi called Salam Ay Hamseday Man. And I'm just going to bring up the translation here. Literally, if we were to translate that, it would be, "Salutations to all who lend their melodies to my voice." And it's a play production in Persian dedicated to the women prisoners of conscience in Iran. Violation of human rights in Iran is not a secret to anyone, and many of the country's educated men and women are wrongly imprisoned merely because of their beliefs or their political views, or simply for speaking up against injustice. The play wishes to give voice to the need for equality and justice. It is a gift to those who are in bondage for the sake of standing up for freedom, and speaks of hope for a brighter future. So this is a play that's going to happen in Toronto on Saturday, November 19th at 8 p.m. at the Aremnian Youth Centre in Toronto. You can find tickets at the Iranian stores in North Toronto and North York and Richmond Hill. You can also, go to the door, but it's recommended to get tickets prior to Saturday. And our topic with Avideh to discuss is not only what is the play about, to get a more in-depth understanding of the play, but also to discuss why theater. Many people don't realize the value of theater throughout time and throughout every century of human life. And so we will discuss what's so special about theater, and then we will also discuss something that Avideh has also discussed herself before in interviews, and that is what we can do outside of Iran to help the people inside of Iran, and especially the Iranian community. What are they capable of doing outside of Iran to help the people in Iran achieve their rights and freedoms? So I got the blurb I wrote about the play from the Facebook group. You can go to the Facebook group and punch in Salam Ay Hamseday Man, either in English, Pinglish, basically, or in Farsi itself, and you will find this. You can also see Gloria Yazdani's personal page. She's the writer, director of this play. And then Avideh Motmaen Far is also on Facebook. You can find Gloria Yazdani and Avideh on Facebook and follow their postings as well. So I have Avideh online right now. So thank you for joining the program, Ms. Motmaen Far.
Thank you so much for having me in your program.
Basically, could you give us a little bit of a background? I know there is a summary of the event in English on the Facebook site, but if you could tell us a little bit of a background yourself on the play, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sure. Salam Ay Hamseday Man, which in essence and not literally means salutations to all who lend their melodies to my voice, is a play production in Persian dedicated to women prisoners of conscience in Iran. As you might know, violation of human rights in Iran is not a secret anymore to anyone, and many of the country's educated people are wrongly imprisoned only because of their beliefs and their political views, or simply for speaking up against injustice. So the play wishes basically to raise awareness about the need for equality and justice. It's an homage to those who are detained for the sake of standing up for freedom, and but at the same time, the play tries to speak of hope for a brighter future.
Mm-hmm. How do you see the effectiveness of theater compared to other modes of expression, such as just having, a debate or just watching a documentary? What's significant about this way of conveying messages of hope and awareness?
I think that from the very beginning of civilization, the theater has always helped us discover and understand ourselves and our relationship with our world and with others. It is, and it has always been a very affirming force in the world. And because the theater is a created thing, its very creation determines what it is and what it does. We create the theater in such a way to express meanings, feelings, and spirits, so that the audience will have an opportunity to experience what we want them to experience. For instance, we may want the audience to experience what it is like to be in a prison, in order to get them to feel and understand human rights violations problems. And at the same time, we may want to affirm the worth of persons, because a person living in a prison has worth. So I think all ages, theater has always been more closely allied to men than any other art, concerning his nature and destiny through its portrayal of the acting and suffering spirit of man. Yet, I think that the experience of theater is more than this. It's even bigger. It is human nature to separate ourselves from people who are different and live in different situations, but the theater breaks that barrier of separation. Somehow it allows us to experience the world of another person and at the same time experience ourselves in our own world. In fact, theater ties us together. We come to experience and understand emotionally and intellectually that our lives connect to another's life, and our world connects to another's world. And because the experience is real and vital, the theater literally creates the world in which we live, at least during the actual experience. So I believe deeply that theater has the potential to significantly change lives and help create the world outside the theater. It's a very powerful instrument to give witness to human rights violations, and a very powerful tool for education and awareness raising.
And on a slightly separate note, I have noticed in the past few years that you are an artist. You have your own paintings, and a lot of it is human rights issues. So you follow the Iranian youth. You're an active artist. And I remember in one interview you mentioned that outside of the country, we can have a role of being the voice of those inside the country. Do you basically still have that belief, and how is it that we can, outside of the country, do things that will help people inside a country like Iran get the changes that they want, such as the human rights changes, equality, and justice, and so on?
I have always thought that people outside the country should be and can be the voice of people inside. First, because we are free here, we can talk, we do many things that people in Iran cannot do. But in order to do that, we should be absolutely united in some kind of common sense of basic values. We can't, we need to focus. We all have our opinions about different things and different political views, and it's natural and it's rich. But what I find important in this instance of our society evolution and around which we should absolutely come together is the universal human rights and practice of democracy. This is the only thing that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. And as an artist, I think that all the artists have the responsibility to contribute their sensitivity and their creativity to the society as a whole to achieve change. They have a role to play in education, in the art of living, as responsible participants in choosing paths of sustainable development and in helping bring what it is possible to light. I believe that our society today suffers from a crisis of spirit, and violence pervades our society, and compassion is disdained. And as Jane Alexander stated once, if you give a child a paintbrush or a pen, that child would not pick up a gun. So I think that it is a part of human need to explore and discover the self and then express that discovery. And if we deny our own need to explore ourselves in our world and express that exploration in healthy ways, our potential becomes corrupted, and consequently our lives are caught up in illusion. So I think that arts counterattack that corruption and engage a person in a positive discovery and expressions of the self.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your perspective on these important issues, and I hope that the play will be a great success. I know that it's playing on Saturday, November 19th at 8 p.m. at the Aremnian Youth Centre in Toronto, and you have tickets available at the Iranian stores in York and North York and Richmond Hill, all the northern areas of Toronto where the Iranian stores are. Mm-hmm. And people can get them at the door if they're not sold out, I understand, but it's better to get it at the store. And basically, I hope that the Iranian community, young and old, both basically pay more attention to the use of theater in, as you say, education and awareness and hope and all these messages as a direct form, as you kind of describe in that way, that we build the world for them right on stage. And I think that's incredibly valuable for people, and to understand each other and to come to that unity that you mentioned. So I hope it's a great success, and that I'll see you here in Vancouver sometime.
We hope so. Thank you very much, and thanks a lot for your support. And I hope that people enjoy the show.